What are you expecting, Craven, between Madam Web, Morbius, and Venom? What level are we talking about here? You personally thinking?
All right, it's gonna be controversial because I prefer Madam Web over Morbius.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be nowhere near Venom. Obviously, it's gonna be nowhere near Venom on any like scale because compared to those like Venom's god tier and those are like the like E and F tier. You know what I mean? So. And hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip and Multiverse with your host, the man who went through like 3 life-changing events in less than a year, apparently, Kyle Charles,
and the film that's kind of taking place. No, I was gonna say kind of taking place at Christmas, but actually it isn't. I'm the Christmas symbiote. That's why I'll be.
Oh yeah. That's what you saying. Like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
And today, we are going to be talking about the 3rd film in the Venom trilogy. Venom: The Last Dance. And before we get into it, let's do that the fancy YouTube stuff. Don't forget, if you watch this YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All that lovely information can be found on the top of our screen. And let's go.
So non-spoiler.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, the Venom franchise is the Venom franchise.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not amazing. No, you know what? I have to say, this is when you say mindless, brainless fun.
Yeah.
Your body follows it. It's fine. You don't ask too many questions, and you're like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I might have to say I enjoyed the second Venom film more because it's a bit more outrageous than this one.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson just being
Woody Harrelson.
Being whatever.
Yeah.
Just being like, you know what, whatever this film. Not whatever in the bad way. Just be like, you know, we're gonna ham it up. We're just gonna keep on going. But they didn't have someone like that to do that in this film.
Yes. You know, I'm surprised you said that. For some reason, I thought you was gonna say you hated this film.
I didn't. Okay. I didn't. I going in.
Yeah.
Watching these sets of films, I'm like, I had a particular mindset of what they are being.
Yeah.
When I first saw the trailer for the first Venom film, and when they got the CGI symbiotes, and then Riz Ahmed and Tom Hardy are punching each other physically out of their symbiotes, because they're inside it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was like, it's CGI fest, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know what I'm in for.
Yeah.
Yeah. If on the other hand, I wasn't expecting. Well, if I wasn't like, okay, it's going to be a 3-star film, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Then I might have thought this film. I wouldn't even say it's trash or anything like that. But what it is it meanders. And then it's like, okay, there's a point at there's a beginning and the end, right? And they merge together.
The middle
is like,
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, don't be wrong. I like Venom films, as this T-shirt will prove it. Alright, see.
Yeah. Look.
There we go. But like, I really enjoyed this film, but I get what you mean. In the middle, just seems like, okay, like why is this?
Like,
why
the middle is fine because it builds it lets you build upon the relationship of Venom and Eddie.
Yeah.
Because it leads somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, here's a refresher. People who might not have seen this film before, all the Venom films for some reason.
Yeah.
Here is the character build section. Even though you were like, why would you go to watch this film
and not see the other two?
Yeah.
It's a bit backwards.
But yeah, if you say so, you know.
Okay.
That's
different.
What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. But again, I say I have like a soft spot for the Venom films. All right. Like you said, they know what they are. They're just like, with this character, I feel like they picked the right way to introduce the character. So I was like, I allow some of the things they do. and it's not trying to be serious, but then it has its serious bits, but it's not like super serious though. And in this film, it kind of like reinforces that. There's bits in it like we'll get to. I was like, there's one bit I was like, a bit weird. And my brother said something. I was like, oh, I get what they're trying to do here. That makes sense.
What is something when I was watching the film was like, where are the other characters that were in the first two sets of the films?
Yeah.
They actually, they weren't just stuck there to be characters to be, antagonistic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They were like actual characters that helped progress the plot.
Yeah.
Like in the second one where he's trying to get back with his ex-wife. Ex-wife's got a new
boyfriend who's more like
I was gonna say, is he a doctor or something? I can't remember.
He's a lawyer.
Anyways,
either way,
Eddie was beefing with the guy.
Yeah.
Kind of, but the guy was like, "I'm just a genuinely good guy," and Eddie's like, "You know what?
Yeah, I actually like.
I can't meet you because it's just me. That's the problem, you know."
Yeah.
And even he helps them in the second one. He's like, "All right."
Because
where are these guys? You know?
Yeah, that's one thing watching. I was like, that you could feel them not being there. They feel missing from the film because like it was heavily a part of 1 and 2, and then in this one they kind of a mention, if that.
Yeah, though I have to say in this film it's like it takes supposedly place in a very short amount of time, like in a couple of days or something. We'd say.
Yeah.
So fair enough, but it just seems a bit of an awkward one where. If, for example, Deadpool Wolverine, where Copycat wasn't there.
Yeah.
I forgot her character name.
Yeah.
Or Colossus or whatever.
Vanessa. Yeah.
And Blind Owl, you'd be like,
Yeah.
Not Weasel.
No one cared about that one, but yeah. At least with like Deadpool and that, they had like a little bit in it at the beginning and the end, so it's like, okay, they're not.
It made sense for them to be there.
Yeah.
Whereas,
this
I suppose you could have.
Yeah, you could have.
But then where would they fit it? They don't cross over into the city that he comes from.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to see them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which, at least, if like one of the things like we said, if they kind of mentioned it, then it'd been. Like, even if it was like a throwaway line, like, oh yeah, by the way, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, cool. Right.
Yeah.
But it's not in there. It's not a big thing, but like, if you're a Venom purist like me, for the films, like, it's kind of like, oh, you could at least give him a slight mention.
Yeah, and you say Venom purist, as we know, there's nothing to do with Spider-Man in any of these films.
Yeah.
So why is it called Venom? That's because all the other symbiotes have names like Riot and
Carnage and Toxin, but I never actually called him Toxin. Yeah.
Even though he's not.
It's the right color scheme.
Even though.
Yeah.
I mean, on the credits he's called Toxin, right?
Yeah.
But he's not actually called that. So.
Yeah. So.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I thought. I don't even know. I want to say I thought they were going somewhere in particular, but I do know that what they started with.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to wrap up at the end, and it didn't.
No.
But I didn't feel like they cheated us for some reason. I was like, all right.
That's the thing.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, when we get to the spoilers, I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. I like you're saying, literally, I didn't... some films, you kind of know the outcome at the end.
Yeah.
This one, I didn't actually have any clue what was going to happen. I was like, all right, I'm literally here finding out what's going on as the film's happening rather than, I can see this happening at the end.
Yeah. I think that kind of helped it because it's just like we're just gonna do. It's like we're gonna put everything in the cauldron, right? We're gonna stir it up and mix up, and then we're gonna throw it all over the place, and no one knows what's going on, and that's why they have to keep on watching.
Yeah, I was like, well, okay, you actually caught my attention for this rather than like.
it's like I can't even predict this film. That's what's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like they go places that you're like, all right.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you think, okay. I see where they're going. Except that they go there and then they go somewhere else afterwards.
Yeah, you're like,
okay, all right. All right. I'd say it's an all right film. It's not amazing.
I see what you did there.
I don't know if I'd say it's a film that will stick with you a long while after you watch it, or would you go back to watch it again or something like that? But you'd be like, you know what? It was fun.
It was fun. I'll watch it again when it like comes out on Blu-ray or on whatever streaming. I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I think it's consistent with the tones of the rest of the Venom films, personally.
Yeah, same.
Some people say this one's terrible, but I'm like, you know what? I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah, that's
the other
thing.
films, like, showed you what you should be watching. So
yeah, it's like the first two. You know, it's going to be not exactly the same, but it's going to follow that sort of like formula in a way. So why would you get your super hopes up for any film? Like, I don't, and personally, I think why anyone does it for any film, get their hopes up so high, and when they see it, it could be amazing. But like, oh, it's terrible because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Like,
yeah.
Okay, sure.
I'm not even sure personally what I wanted from this film. All I know is that the meme of the Venom horse. Yeah. And I saw it, and then what I saw, I enjoyed.
Yeah, same. Like I said, there's only one bit in this film we get to. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yep. So, are we going straight into spoilers from here on?
Yeah, we'll go into spoilers. So you guys been warned. We are 10 minutes in, so spoilers away. So, yes, like it was a good film. Like the whole part from number two, sorry, when they introduced Patrick Milligan, like it was going to be like a thing, and then this film, what does he do?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, by the way, I think they just do something for cameos, and then they're like, actually, we could use it.
Yeah,
but we only wanted to put names before, and now we're stuck with using the character the way that we started it, rather than how we wanted it to go, or something like that. You know, just
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it kind of starts at the beginning of. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it starts at the beginning of the last film when he gets ported to.
No, because I was going to say, is in the beginning where Null is talking to the symbiote? So that's.
Wait, no, I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Because it goes to the planet of the symbiotes or whatever it is, kind of given their history. The King in Black.
Yeah.
Null in his throne with his sword and whatever, right? With his white hair dripping down his face and stuff, and he'd be like, "Yes, the symbiotes. They, search the world, the multiverse for my whatever, right?
Yeah.
The codex, the Kryptonian codex that Kal-El has, essentially."
And I was like, okay, all right, I guess.
Yeah. And so you had just assumed that it'll come back to that later on.
Yeah.
But then you're like, if it does, then this film is going to go very wide and far-reaching.
Yeah. Well, it can do when we get to the end, but
yeah. And then Tom Hardy's so he starts at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
And he gets teleported back to his Earth.
Yeah.
Where he's telling the guy about where he's telling the guy what happened, essentially, the big purple alien that wiped out half the world, right?
The guy, because he's still in he's still in the 616, and then so the guy basically explains what happens, like, this doesn't make any sense, and then he gets ported back to his timeline. I mean, his universe. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then that's when Venom goes, the symbiote says, "I'm tired of this multiverse BS." I was like, haha. They're speaking for some of the audience who apparently are fed up with the multiverse, which I'm not, but
yeah.
And
so Venom kind of takes over and then possesses Eddie to make a Bloody Mary, or kind of whatever. He's making something, right? I'm telling you, his tendrils are just going out there making all sorts, and I don't know what drink he's making. I don't drink, but I can tell that no drink.
I got confused because he goes, you need a margarita, which has got like tequila and stuff, and then he started doing all the other stuff. Like, that's not how you make a margarita, because margaritas ain't red. Yeah. But sure, okay, must be a Bloody Mary, I guess.
Yeah. And then, then there's the news report, like you're saying, right? Patrick Mulligan killed, Eddie being the prime suspect, and all the dead bodies and whatnot, right? From Venom 2.
Yeah, and he's like,
so this is what takes place a couple of days after that.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's when he's like, oh no, we're fugitives, we need to go on the run. So then they decide.
So he pays the bar tab, and he leaves a bit of the symbiote on the
table.
On the coins because he's shedding, right? Yeah. Which doesn't, by the way, some people think it retcons the end of Spider-Man No Way Home where he's shedding a symbiote bit as well. Yeah. But I'm like, that happened there in that universe. Yeah. And some reason they decided not to show it, but there's still probably a bit of a symbiote left in the 616 universe.
Yeah.
And this is another instant
where it sheds again.
Yeah.
So then,
but I think when people watching the trailers, they saw it and they were like, that happened there. And then after you watch the whole scene, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They conveniently cut the section when he leaves and teleports out, and they don't show anything else. But
yeah, no, I think like you said, I think it's two separate. Like they shed it twice, so it's still in the 6-1 and it's here as well because they kind of refer to it later on about the shedding. Yeah. So then this is where they have the idea, like, let's go to New York because they're banned from New York. But like, oh, we know some like dodgy lawyer that we got some dirt on, and then we can get him to help us clear our name. I was like, oh, okay. I wonder who they're talking about.
I was expecting something, and then when nothing happened, I was also like, you know what? I don't mind. That,
I don't mind. Yeah, same. I was like, it doesn't matter anyway.
Because they were vague. They were vague.
Yeah.
I was expecting a cameo or anything like that, but they were vague enough to be like, this is the plot device that's going to get us from here to here.
Yeah.
We're in Mexico, and we're going to go back to somewhere in America.
Yeah. So then, like this bit kind of happens rather quick because then they're about to go on they use a plane to get there, but then before that actually happens, right, Eddie kills like these this cartel members who were like using dogs for dog fights and things like that. So him and Venom killed him, and while this happens, you see Noel talking about to these Chintar, hound things, like I'm gonna send you out into universe into the multiverses or whatever, and find the symbiote and bring it back. So then
at the same time as that, they had the facial recognition on Eddie as well.
Yeah.
So a million things are going on at the same time.
Yeah. So then
he leaves the bar.
Yeah.
He hears like dogs whining or something like that.
Yeah.
So they go to investigate.
Yeah.
And then they see the dogs being cages for fights and stuff like that. And then he turns around. He's going to let them go. And then the cartel members kind of like come to him and say, "Hey, hombre, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Right? Hey, Chico. Right?
Hey, Chico. Yeah.
And and then Venom beats them all up. Lets the dogs out, so the dogs are chomping on these guys. And then when the dogs shift away, he grabs them as Venom, and he chomps their heads as well. Oh, okay, because he was like, he needs brains. Yeah. All right.
And he mentioned before this, I might be later on. He goes, "We remember Eddie. We're the lethal protectors." And I was like, yeah, lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
Murdering for good.
Yeah. But it's wacky and wild. That's what I'm gonna say about that. So it's like after seeing Venom eat Cletus Cassidy the exact same way and then eat the symbiote.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Chomp.
Awesome. That was awesome. You know? You love that bit because I didn't see that bit coming. And then they come out of that place and they're walking down this dark alley, and
all the dogs walking behind them that they just rescued.
Yeah, and then this Chintar hound thing is kind of following them, and then because we'll get into it later why I couldn't see it. It turns away and goes off onto a roof, and like, oh, okay.
For some reason, so when it comes down the roof, the dogs stop walking behind Eddie.
Yeah.
And Eddie continues walking because he's thinking, all right, they're just gonna whatever. You know, like they don't need to follow me. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, they go about their life.
Business. I've got a bit of a hangover. I'm kind of drunk, and we just kind of, ate some brains. So and I think the dogs stopped because they were like, "What's this thing?"
Yeah, and then it kind of shifts back. This is where we get introduced to some of the army people and Area 51, which becomes a big part of this movie in a way. This where we meet Teddy Payne, one of the scientists who becomes a scientist because her brother gets hit by lightning because of her. Yeah.
Somehow, right? When you're kids, apparently, right?
Yeah.
If lightning hits you and you're holding the hand of your sibling, right?
Yeah.
Older or younger, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Lightning could go through you and kill them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come with you.
Yeah.
And it leaves you with like a cool veiny lightning scar.
Yeah. And I can't. And some use of her hand.
Yeah, I don't know. And this also, like you said later on, doesn't even make sense to.
Yeah.
The thing that does happen is like, all right,
like, okay,
sure. How you reconcile that? But if you say so, you know.
Yeah. So introduced to her, the Christmas girl. What's her name? Sadie Christmas. Yeah.
She's wearing a Christmas. It looks like a Christmas cookie tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gets called out by Carl Mordo, who's not Carl Mordo in this.
No, he is Rex Strickland.
Rex Strickland. Yeah, with his American accent here.
Yeah.
So and he's like, it's July, so why are you wearing that? Because she likes Christmas, you know.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, oh, you know, if they have him here, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they just call him Carl something whatever, right? Or something Mordo? But that might be too confusing. But like, this is the multiverse version of this guy. He's just like an alternate.
Yeah.
Don't call him Carl Mordo because people will get confused. But just be like, this is a version of Carl Mordo.
Yeah. Because I remember there was some weird like speculation like, oh, this is blah blah blah. It's like, no, it's just it's like Johnny Storm and Steve Rogers look the same. Two different people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And someone else later on as well when you're like, yeah.
Yeah. And then I just remembered what's gonna come next. And then they kind of talk about the symbiotes and the Rex Strickland's like, we can't trust these aliens. Rah.
No.
Yeah.
Just before that, because it's relevant later on.
Yeah.
When they drive into the did they get the symbiote bit of so go on. Oh
no, you're right. Because we see them. Another story where they talk about like Area 51 is gonna get closed down because it's not relevant anymore, and it will stop people coming there to see what is quote unquote there. But then you see them using this acid bath thing to dissolve some of the apparatus there, so it's just easy to get rid of. Foreshadowing.
Yep.
And then
exactly. Because they make a point like swagger up to it. I do the ID thing, and I'm not just there for no reason now.
Yeah, wig. Yeah. So then, when you find out they're actually gonna keep the real stuff of Area 51's underneath, and that's where we see them. And they also show us all the other symbiotes, and they show us how Patrick McGillen. Really funny name. Yeah, how Mulligan. How he survived.
Well, they didn't show us how he survived. They just showed that he did survive.
Yeah, no, they showed him when they stabbed him with the toxins symbiote to keep him alive. So as another thing, I was like, is that a retcon? Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, and then they're like, let's go and try and talk to him.
And the way it comes off is Patrick is like a meat suit for the symbiote.
Yeah, rather than
because he's kind of half dead, and the symbiote's what's keeping him alive-ish.
Yeah, rather than like the other symbiotes when he bonded with people that were like partners. He was just like, this thing's keeping me alive, sort of. So they asked him like, oh, what do the symbiotes want? And he's like, to live. And then Mordo's like, no, they want to invade us because it's not Mordo, sorry. Strickland, like they want to invade here because reasons like
favorite reasons. I hate them because
because I don't know them. Like, oh, okay.
Because humans are apparently no, I'm just making them up. He never says anything, but you're like, this guy has got that Lex Luthor xenophobia ness about him.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
It's the stock in trade for like army people. Just be like, anyone else is the enemy, apparently.
Yeah. Even if they come in peace, they're the enemy somehow. But
no, they ain't come in peace. They ain't come in peace. We know it. I know it.
Yeah. Like, okay.
All right. Yeah.
So
trust issues, but hey.
Yeah. And then this is when they get a hit on the symbiote, right? That it was in Mexico. So then they send a SWAT team, I guess, to Mexico to find Eddie. But by that time, Eddie's already left, and him and Venom are hanging on the side of a plane trying to fly to New York.
Yeah, so this thing makes sense to me. He's like, I get it if he was full Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's up there, right? But no, he's Venom arms.
Yeah.
And still Eddie there. Eddie should have frozen.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was like,
you shouldn't be alive. But then if you're gonna say, okay, the internals of the symbiote, whatever, it's just like at least a thin layer over Eddie to show us he's not actually just exposed to the sky or whatever. But
well, sure. Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
So this is Eddie's like, why are you doing this? And Venom's like, I told you we could fly. And then they turn to the full symbiote, and then that hound thing's like, I sense symbiote, and then just leaps into this
I can see it in my black and white vision. That's not black and white when I see the Codex symbiote because it is it stands out as yellow, whatever. Yeah. Daredevil kind of style vision.
Yeah. So then they suit up, and then Venom notices what it is. Like, oh crap, we're doomed. And Eddie's like, wait, what? And then they try to fight it, and they somehow manage to defeat it by somehow pushing it into the jet turbine of the plane. So it just chops up in pieces. And then Eddie starts free falling because Venom's like, if I'm out, something bad's gonna happen. He hasn't explained why yet. So they're free falling. And then when we get near the end, that's when he turns himself into like a parachute and lowers him down. And then while that's also happening, the SWAT team have gone to the bar that Eddie was in, and that the bartender is about to touch the residue of the symbiote that shed it off. But Strickland catches it in some little tube and says, oh, where did this come from? And the guy's like, I don't know, but the thing had like loads of hands just swinging about. Okay, cool. So they tase, because he's come in contact with it, they tase him and take him away.
Yeah, as you would do if you're the Men in Black / Army / notorious super agents,
Yeah. So then we go back to Eddie and Venom in the desert, and this when the Venom tells Eddie about basically that's the thing that's gonna come try and like take us back to Null, and then he explains the whole Null, how he was a god.
When he means us, he means himself. Actually, he doesn't mean Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it is together. It is together because they explain that if you die and then a black symbiote merges with you,
brings you back to life,
then apparently that's what makes the Codex. I'm like, this is what?
Sure, whatever. But I get that's how they're trying to make like the bond between Eddie and that symbiote like unique, like in the comics, sort of like
they're gonna have a reason for the hounds to actually be able to track them as well. So it's like, okay, because they could have just went after any symbiote and whatever, right? But it's just like, oh, this is the reason. I buy it. I accept it.
And it kind of explains why, because he was the one, the Codex in it. It kind of makes that symbiote special. Like, that makes sense. Like, because before they kind of say he's a loser, but you find out why he's actually not a loser. And then so basically, if we're in Venom form, they'll find us. So we got to be as minute as we can. It's like, okay, cool.
I can pop and bat out and be a head around you. And I can speak to you. But I can't full Venom up on you.
So like, oh, okay, cool. So then they're walking through the desert.
And Eddie has no shoes.
And then I can't remember the reason why that they turned. Oh no, they catch Eddie on surveillance camera again because the world's full of surveillance cameras, and they narrow it down to him being in a certain place. So they try to. Sorry. Go back a tiny bit. This is where they find a horse and they turn it into Venom horse, and they.
Oh yeah. That's it. That's what it was. Yeah.
So they're going through the jungle.
He's like, how far can you push this horse? Venomed up, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Let's go. And then the horse is just like super powerful and potent. Just be like, just jumping all around off cliffs and stuff like that. I'm like, all right,
sure.
Okay.
And then something happens where. No, sorry. Yeah. So then the SWAT team. The 6 special ones, because Strickland's like, we need to get the 6 out to help capture Eddie. So then they follow him into the desert, and then they try to kill him, try to take him in, and Eddie ends up fighting one of them, and they fall into a river, and they start getting pushed down the stream, and the symbiote's like, I can't let you die because you're my homie. So he goes through this in the river, jumping from turn into a fish into a venom fish, and then into a frog into a venom frog, and while this is going on, Eddie's fighting one of the soldiers, and he's getting
underwater, by the way, barely taking a breath.
And Eddie's trying to get the better of the soldier, so the soldier pulls out a gun, and then they're both fighting with each other, and Eddie accidentally shoots the soldier. And
whose helmet then comes off, revealing a woman. I'm like, why does this need to be so dramatic? Like, you know, so, I know she died. Okay. I'm not saying whatever, right? But it's just like, okay, it's the first time he killed someone as Eddie.
Yeah.
But to be fair, this person was.
It's either him or them.
He was trying to kill him as well.
Yeah, it's either him or them, and and I get that he doesn't want to kill someone with bare hands, which makes sense, because it comes back later when he's just like, but anyway. So then he's fighting another one, and then he's about to fall off the river in the cliff from a fall that probably would kill him, I don't know. So then Venom bonds with him and turns full Venom, and then that's when the Hound thing that's come back together. I forgot these things are basically immortal. Comes back together, and it just jumps all the way to where they are, and
from the plane where they were before. Well, exactly.
And then
Venom's fighting the soldiers.
Yep.
And then he sees the Xenophage on the top of the cliff.
Yeah.
And he's like, go back into the water.
Yep.
And just come out as Eddie, while then the thing is jumping into the water, attacking all the soldiers, trying to find Venom.
Yeah, and then they get all murdered, and Strickland sees it, and he gets like, this fuels his vendetta against aliens. Like, it killed them all.
Yeah, because he's like, in fact, even though it's not Venom that did it, he's like, that's why we need to capture them symbiotes.
Yeah,
like, no, a minute.
Hold on, no. Okay.
You guys attacked him.
Yeah.
And then this thing came along, right?
Yeah.
You didn't need to do all of that.
No.
And then that wouldn't have happened. But no, it's their fault because they resisted arrest. Apparently.
Yeah. But even though it's like, can't you see
them? Resisted, quote unquote, you know?
It's also one of the things like, can't you see they're two different aliens? You know what I mean? Like, it's two different aliens. One's like a symbiote, one's like some demon thing, so...
It's because it was coming after, even though he wouldn't know it was coming after the symbiote, It was in the proximity of the symbiote, therefore they are a team.
Yeah, you're like,
okay.
It doesn't work that way, but okay, sure.
No, exactly.
So then, so him and Eddie gets away, and Strickland's calls up Teddy Payne, the lady, is like, it killed our men, and then she says something really insensitive at the time.
He's like, he killed my men. Like, that's...
And then she's like, oh, can you get any samples? And even like the Christmas girl was like, dude, no, he's lost 6 of his men, and you're just asking for, read the room, man.
Okay, the logic of it, right? But,
It was like, oh, okay.
Exactly in the most calm state at the moment.
Yeah. So then he calls in a favor to the higher ups about that and him being charged because it's getting a bit out of hand now.
Yeah.
And then we're back to Eddie, who's dealing with what just happened. He's like, I just killed someone. And first he's like, why did you save me?
He's like, no, we killed many people, so it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I killed my own hand. He goes, one person, it could be more. So it's like, okay.
So... And they walk up to like a camper van?
Yeah.
Kind of. They smell food. They smell food. They go into the direction of the food.
Yeah.
And it's Ralph Evans. And his hippie. I say hippie, but as in, he got beard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Looks like he's from the 60s/70s.
Yeah.
They've got a camper van. They're eating all vegetables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like, we're Greenpeace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Okay.
Sure.
And they like, oh yeah, Eddie, do you want something? You like, dude, you look like you need a meal. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Martin, Martin, the dad, wife Ethan's, he takes Venom, like takes Eddie to the side to then talk about whatever just to get I don't even know how these people, by the way, they're strangers. So why would you? Yeah, but they're like, dude in the Hawaiian shirt. He looks for some reason like he's just been left in the desert to die. So all right, he could use a hand. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he hands Venom hands Eddie the food.
Yeah.
and he talks away, and then he looks at his family. Yeah, wife and kid. Venom looks at the food.
Oh yeah.
So wait, you don't want to eat no vegetables.
And then the daughter's like, okay, he's not weird. Yeah. And then they offer him. Then he's like, oh, you know what? I need to go. And they're like, no. Well, we're going past Vegas. We can give you a lift there. And he's like, oh, that's very kind of you, good sir. And then he joins them, obviously.
And then, they just spend the journey singing kumbayas and getting to know each other and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
All that lovely, jubbly,
yeah.
To the heart kind of stuff where they are through the night, going to sleep and stuff like that, and the kids like to Venom. A kid like nudging Tom Hardy going, do you want some chocolate? And then he's like, what? He goes, Mom and Dad doesn't allow us to have chocolates.
Yeah.
For what reason was that?
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. And then Eddie's like, that's when Venom's like, oh, he's our friend because he gave me chocolate, because the symbiotes eat chocolate. Yeah.
And they're talking about how they're going to Area 51 because they know it's being decommissioned, but they want to see some aliens because, you know, the government, you know, they're trying to hide stuff, but we're gonna not expose them, but it's like, you know, it'll be our last chance to see it. I don't want to share my kids, you know?
Yeah.
This stuff is around. The daughter's like a skeptic. No.
Yeah.
The son's like, he's not made any thoughts about whether things exist or not. He's just there for the ride, you know?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. And then the son's, so before, even though it happens after Bob, you say anyways, and then they're all asleep except for the mom driving. Then the son's like to Eddie, I don't really want to see the aliens, so I'm scared. And then Eddie's like, nah, you shouldn't. He goes, oh yeah, they're not real, but they're not real. And then the kid's like, promise me. And he's like, I promise you. Even though dude's got like an alien living inside him. But sure. Yeah. So he's like, okay, cool. So they have a little bonding session there. And that's when Venom goes, it would have been good to see you become a dad. And he's like, yeah, well, that ship's kind of sailed at the moment because I'm a fugitive.
Yeah. Not only that, but when Venom was a dad, he ate his own kids. So what can you say about that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then that happened. Then we go sort of back a few scenes where Mulligan wakes Patrick Mulligan wakes up again, and he tells Lee Payne and all that, not Lee Payne, that's another character, Teddy Payne and Christmas about what Null wants to do and how the Kodak thing works, and that basically they need to kill Venom and Eddie so then the Kodak won't get taken. And then that's all trickling. He's like, yep, cool, that's what I need to know. We need to kill everyone. And like, wait, what?
And then, you said the magic words, kill them all. Yes.
Yeah. And then that's when actually no. Yeah, and that's when they find Eddie's in Vegas, but me skipping a bit, but then we go back to to Eddie with the family, and they make it to Vegas, and they're like, well, here you go. He's like, oh, thanks. Didn't know how much, you don't know how much this means to me, you're not doing that. He's like, that's fine, we got to help each other, humans, blah, blah. And then Eddie walks away, and he comes back and then says, the guy again, like, thank you, this is very nice of you. Then the guy gives him a pair of shoes, because Eddie's been looking for shoes this whole time. Whenever he gets a pair of shoes, they get taken away from him. So then he gets the shoes, and Venom's like, no, we're not wearing these because they're Crocs. No, these flip-flops things in it. Yeah, and they go, they're worse than Crocs. I was like, I agree with you, Eddie. Me, Venom. And then, so Venom and Eddie leave the family, and they give him some money. He's like, you know what? We need to somehow make some more money. And then
these $20 that we got.
Yeah. And then Venom's like, I've been watching Rayman, so I know how to count cards and that stuff and how to gamble. And he's like, okay, sure. So then they go to this Hotel Paris, and they try to get in, and the guy goes, dude, your what dress code? He goes, well, I'm on vacation, people wear shorts vacation. He goes, well, you just look like a bum, not letting you in. So he's like, okay, cool. So then he headbutts the guy. Well, Venom headbutts the guy, and he's like, why'd you do this? He goes, because he's being mean to us. Like, okay, fair enough. So then they walk away, and they see a guy peeing in a corner, and they're like, okay, let's take his clothes. And then Venom walks up. Eddie and Venom walk up to him. He goes, sir, I need to borrow clothes. He's like, and he starts peeing on them because he's still drunk. And then Venom knocks him out again, and Eddie's like, why you keep knocking out people? This isn't cool. He's like, no, it's fine. That's fine. and then he steals the guy's clothes, and then he walks out, and then they made a few pop culture references to Ed Hardy in real life. I thought it was quite funny. He's like, yeah, you look great, you look sexy. We were like, yeah, I have been voted sexiest man before. Like, that's true. It was like whenever he was Bane or whatever. And then he gets let into the hotel this time because he walked past. Oh, that guy who hit that guy, he's over there. Whoa, he's drunk. He fell over there. So then he goes in, and then they somehow go into the slot machine, and Venom somehow loses all their $20 in like 5 seconds. Yeah, and Eddie starts kind of messing out.
Yeah, and then I was like, how are they gonna progress the rest of the movie now?
Yeah, and then luckily they hear a voice I remember. Like, wait, they stand up, and and then someone's looking at them, and it's what's the character's name? Mrs. Chen, and she's like, Eddie. He's like, Mrs. Chen, and then he goes over. She was like, yeah, I've won so much money. Like, I'm basically royalty. Conveniently, I'm basically royalty now in this hotel. Yeah, you might as well come to my suite and chesting up. And there's a big guy with you. Yeah. He's like, yeah, he's with me. Like, oh yeah, he owes me a dance. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? So then something else happens at the back at the military base. I think that's when they show the other symbiotes they got in the status pods and whatever.
In their chambers and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So that's up for later on, because why would you have so many of them, and why are they so apparent? But
sure. And then this is where they also get a call that Eddie's in Las Vegas, so they assemble the team and go to Las Vegas. So while this is all happening, while they're en route to get Eddie and Venom, they got to her Miss Chen's penthouse suite, and they have she's like, come on, Eddie, you got to dance. The big guy's got to dance with, like, no, I'm not doing this. She says, no. And then Venom's like, nah, screw this, I'm dancing with her. And then they dance to an ABBA song. I can't remember what the song was. Dancing Queen, yeah. And then, obviously, because of that,
Queen does, yeah.
The Kodak obviously is visible, so the Beast thing starts running towards Vegas. And halfway through near the end of the dance, the military come and try to take Eddie and a symbiote. Actually, no, sorry. The thing gets there before them. And Eddie and the Venom and the xenomorph. It's not xenomorph, but fight. And then he comes out the Kodak. So he comes out of Venom mode, and then it can't see, so it just flies off. And they're like, maybe, we got through that one, woo! And then that's when the military come, taser him, and then it rips off Venom out of him, and they put Venom in a containment unit and sedate Eddie, and that's how.
And make sure he loses his shoes on the way.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, not my shoes again. Yeah. But before we move on, this is the bit I was like, I didn't like the dancing bit. I was like, this is going on for a bit too long. And then my brother said something to me. He's like, oh, that's like when they're taking the piss out of Spider-Man 3. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah,
all right.
Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah. It's less annoying.
Also, I think they needed a section for the rest of the story to they needed something to converge all the other bits together. So it was like, all right, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to tease what happens when you get the hunter thing and the armed SWAT members that are ready for it.
Yeah.
But they obviously arrive at separate times.
Yeah.
In the same instant, just so you miss it, and then you're like, oh, okay, later on.
And then so they take him and they fly off, and then we see the hound hunter thing follow them back to Area 51, where you see their airplane landing. It sneaks into the base. Like, oh, okay. And then this is a bit when Eddie wakes up and is like, oh, big guy, it feels like a little dream. And then it's like, hello. And there's obviously, that's when he realized that him and the symbiote are not bonded. Also, meant to say, he was meant to, no, that's later on. Did he get stabbed? And then the symbiote heals him.
Later.
I think it happens
that's a bit later on.
A bit earlier as well, but yeah. So
they basically so Christmas Girl
Yeah.
gets to take the symbiote to the symbiote chamber with all the other symbiotes.
Yeah.
Rex Strickland is gonna be like, yeah, what we gotta do is if we murder him,
Yeah.
if we murder him straight up, yeah.
Yeah.
If we murder Brock, then he dies, and then we don't have to worry about no Codex thing with this hunter, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So let's go and murder some people, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't think it works that way. All right.
No. So he's trying to talk to Big Guy, like you say, right? Big Guy's in there, and then Patrick Mulligan on the other side is saying, Eddie,
yeah,
where is it? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dude, what's happened to you? And then he just turns into
toxin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Yeah. And then he kind of told him the plan, like, yeah, dude, these guys are gonna try and kill you. I survived just about. I wish I was dead. Someone kill me or something. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Rex Strickland comes with the Christmas Girl and Teddy Payne.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and this when so he's like, and then like, so you guys trying to invade? Like, this guy over there told you we're not trying to invade. Like, you got to be more concerned about the other thing. And they're like, no, whatever. And then this is when he does the mutiny, isn't it? He's like, I'm in charge now, Payne and Christmas.
Yeah.
It's all about me. Like, oh, okay.
It's me and my hatred.
Yeah. And then Christmas acting a bit weird at this moment. Like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, what's Power Trip doing here, man?
Yeah. And then he goes in to kill Eddie.
Shoots him, yeah?
She's about to shoot Eddie, yeah. And then the symbiote has bonded with... This is when you find out the symbiote's bonded with her and throws him away. And then goes back to Eddie. And then that's when they're about to escape. And then that's when the hunter thing comes. And Venom's like, oh crap, we need to leave now. And
then as it takes apart so Venom's helping the scientist ladies run away and Strickland because
because he's not a dick.
He's like now realizes they are of his ways, while his men are getting shredded there, and then Toxin comes and smashes out of his own
containment unit thing. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And he's fighting the thing, and then he gets ripped apart. And you're like,
he's like, Eddie, you gotta do Venom. You gotta do this sort of thing. Give him like a pep talk, and then he goes, like, I'm like, ooh, kind of a gruesome way to die. Yeah.
So Venom is trying to help all the scientists get away.
Yeah.
And find the xenophage thing.
Yeah.
Except that he's not doing a particularly good job. But then they're like, let out all the symbiotes.
Yeah. Because it will help us. I'm like, okay.
Did they break a cage or something like that? And then Then it bonds with one of the scientists. One of the symbiotes bonds with another scientist. And then they're like, oh yeah, let them all out.
Yeah. So then they all bond with people.
I was waiting for one to bond with Strickland.
Yeah,
because they'd be like, oh, the very thing I hated all this time.
I am what I hate now. Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Yeah. But then that doesn't happen. But then while this is all going on as well, that family that Eddie befriended make their way to the Area 51, and then they see a hole in the gate, like, hey, let's go in and look around because what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, apparently, right?
Yeah. So then we go back to the fight. So the symbiotes are bonding with people, and they help fight.
They try to hold one of them down. Yeah, one of the hunter things, the xenophages, whatever.
Yeah.
Except that they're getting chopped in half as well.
Yeah.
So it's not the great, and they're not doing the greatest for teamwork. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Then they start to act together because they're like, get the scientists, get everyone out, right?
Yeah.
We'll just hold this thing.
And it starts going well for a bit, but then slowly, bits more and more like getting murdered and stuff.
Yeah, because because they can't heal as much as the thing itself.
Yeah, because this thing's like basically invincible at a point. So then,
being that the hippie family run up some
like
fire, that thing.
Yeah, some watchtower. Lookout tower. Yeah. So then all that's still happening, and then Eddie comes out and is like, hey. To save these people, I need to turn into Venom so it can follow me. So he does that, and then that's when it breaks through and everything. And then when he's running out, because he wants to get from out there because it's an enclosed trap bit, so it can't kill everyone. So he gets out. Then he de-venomizes back into his normal Eddie, and then it's when he sees the family, he's like, "Oh no, I gotta go and talk to him and like get him out of here." So he goes to talk to him and like tell him like, "Yeah, you need to get out of here." And he tells the kid like, "Yeah." actually aliens are real, but not all of them are bad. Like this guy here, so Venom comes out and goes, "Oh, thank you for giving me chocolate. We're friends." And so then, while that's happening, the comes out still fighting some of the other the symbiotes are still alive, and
I think they knock something explosion, so the watchtower bends over.
Yeah.
And then Venom, like, oh yeah, all right, so he's going to turn into Venom and save them or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I think they get rescued by the Christmas symbiote girl.
Yeah, because this is when she's bonded with it. Yeah, so she comes and saves them. I think she's going to be Lash, I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because I saw a list of the names of them. I'll say when we finish, I'll find a list and I'll say the ones that were in it.
Yeah, when they actually do name them, though.
Yeah. And so then, this is... And that's it. And then that's when it does that primal scream thing.
Yeah.
Which lets Noel know that he's found the Kodak. So then it sends another one of the xenomorphs, and that kills more of the symbiotes that are there. Yeah. And then this is where Eddie's like, we need to be Venom for good now. We are the lethal protector. We need to save all these people, sort of thing.
Yeah. So he gets on the motorcycle.
Yeah, to lead it away. Yeah, on the motorcycle.
Yeah, and then the other symbiote is running next to him.
Yeah, because she can like.
The only one that's relevant, by the way, apparently, because symbiotes can bond with nameless scientists. Yeah, but unless you're a named character, you can't do anything.
Yeah. Except for that one that bonded with two people when it had two heads, but I got murdered. Yeah, and then.
So he leads them on a motorcycle to all the explosives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he sets them off, and you're thinking, all right, then that's the end of that, right? They blew these guys up, they vaporized them. Apparently not though, because they can recover, rebond, heal from splatter.
Yeah.
So
all good.
Like, and then they see the acid vat thing, right?
Oh no, we've got a bit as well, because then Strickland comes and helps him again with a rocket launcher and stuff like that. And then he gets stabbed. By one of them. Yeah, and that's when Vader's like, "No, you're gonna get through this. We're gonna do this together." And then something happens then, and then that's when the dad with the rocket launcher shoots him, and he's like, calls him mother effer. And then Christmas comes in a van. That's it. Another one comes, and Christmas comes in the van, knocks it over, and then Eddie's like, "Get them in the van, take them to their van up there, and then go." So then...
because I think it's what happened. The explosion happens, and I think he gets shanked or something like that because he's not as Venom, so he's not invincible. He crawls to the helicopter. Yeah,
and then Venom comes, and then also forgot one little bit where when they leave in the lab, Teddy Payne picks up a vat of one of the symbiotes that has a lightning around it. The foreshadowing,
like a purple glow.
Yeah. So then, so Eddie's bleeding out. So this would have been trailer was like, Eddie, it's fine. Like, this might be the last time. Blah blah blah. And he's like, no, we got to, we not started this, but before I met you, you was kind of not. I was kind of a nothing. Now we're something. You're like my best friend. I can't.
Yeah.
We got to end this. Yeah. So then they bond. And like, okay, this is the final showdown because more of the xenomorphs are literally is like 5 or 6 of them are just surrounding him. It's like, okay, we need to kind of do something. And then this is when
so go on.
I think Lash, the green, the woman Christmas has still got her symbiote, but then after something happens, they do the one of the xenoflams or whatever does the sonic scream, so the symbiote comes off, then it eats that symbiote. Oh no! So then they're all stuck by the acid vat sort of thing.
Suddenly the scientists and Strickland are by the exact area they need to be. For the okay. Sure. They don't crawl anywhere like that. And then Venom, Eddie Brock in the helicopter knows exactly what that is.
Yeah.
All right. If you say so.
Yeah. All right. So then
it's not like Strickland was like, Eddie, come over here, because then it's like a reason why he was there. Yeah. Because he was trying to get into,
Yeah. So then Venom and Eddie come to agreement, like, we know what we got to do.
Yeah.
So then they give something to Strickland. I can't remember. There's some little word said to Strickland about something. And then he's like, okay. So Venom starts absorbing all the xenomorphs things and bringing them into the acid vat, and he goes, and then that's it. Yeah. So then he grabs Strickland, throws him, puts him where the bit where he's got to put his eye and fingerprint in, and he kind of gives him that nod. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So then he does the acid. So the acid starts going down on.
So he spits Eddie out first of all.
Yeah.
And he puts a metal door over Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, he reaches for Eddie, yeah, like they're gonna high five and say goodbye or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then he reaches past him to the metal door to put in front of him.
Yeah. And then Eddie's like, "You can't do this." He goes, "No, Eddie, I have to. This is, for us." So this is why I kind of sad. I was like, "Oh, this is quite sad." So then Strickland does again for more of the acid to come down, and so more and more it's melting, and all the xenomorphs are trying to get out of Venom, but he's like, "No, I'm Venom." So he pulls him in, and then knowing that he probably can't get up again to do the eye thing for the acid, he Strickland pulls out a grenade and basically just blows up the whole acid vat. So then all the acid comes down onto the symbiotes and also cause an explosion. Because obviously, like, everything else around the area is going to explode. So then, while that's happening, Christmas and Payne are trying to run away. And then Christmas falls down. And then Payne's like, I can't carry you because at some points I have one arm, some points I don't. Yeah. And then she remembers that she picked up a vat of symbiote. So she grabs it, crushes it, and then she gets symbiosis. But this one can run super fast because it's got lightning.
It's got lightning powers? Yeah. Because it's like, okay, it basically did the flash step from there to there to there back. In fact, right, so apparently you got latent lightning powers that bonded with the symbiote became you lightning symbiote. Are you stacking powers?
But that's what, like, because when you see that pink symbiote earlier, it has lightning in it already. So, like, because I know all symbiotes have their own different mutations, right?
Well, this film doesn't explain that. You're going by comics.
I'm going by comic logic, yeah. Because I know it. So I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense to me, but sure. And so then she saves them, and then we just see the aftermath of everything. And Eddie's just lying there all like battered, and then it fades to black. So you think
the scientist ladies save him,
and then it fades to black, and then he wakes up, and again he's like, "Big guy, I felt like I had a bad dream," and he says it again, and he realizes Venom. Now he realizes what happens, and then someone goes, and there's this guy. Like, yeah, well, thank you, Eddie. So you and Sylvia, you basically saved the world. So all the things you've done wrong has been expunged. But if you speak this word to anyone, I'll be in a hole so deep that no one will ever find you. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got the military hat and all that stuff thing.
Yeah,
laters, man. But you know what? Remember what I said, because we can make you disappear. He doesn't say it like that, but he just basically saying,
implying you're like, oh, okay.
There's a little bit of a threat here, even though you helped us. But you gotta understand, these secrets can't get out.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. And then Eddie makes it finally to New York, walking through the streets, reminiscing about him and Venom, and like how Venom bettered his life, and how he
and how Venom wanted to see the Statue of Liberty, which we forgot to mention all the way back over there. So that was a tag here where Eddie, he's like looking at across the the harbor and stuff like that, and then he's looking at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
he's like,
you're like, oh,
this one's for you, boy.
Yeah, you're like, oh man. And there's a small part of me's like, Venom's gonna come back though, right? And then no, I just went to the credits. Like, oh, okay, that's a bummer. Really.
Well, you say that, but then the mid-credit scene where Null's like, oh boy, shucks, that didn't work.
Yeah, but your Guardian's gone now, and I can get there somehow.
Yeah, let me just take a little step back into the shadows again.
Yeah, but he's
while I ponder how I'm gonna do the rest of my stuff.
So I was like, oh, okay. Oh. Like,
I actually thought Null was going to be the main villain of this.
I'm kind of glad he's not, because even like,
just before you get to that, let's go to the ending credits, the final after credits, where it wasn't worth the wait, but the Puerto Rican bartender comes out and he's like, oh boy.
Yeah,
it comes out of the wreckage and he just kind of walks across the desert.
Yeah, he's like, wow, what happened here?
Yeah.
And then runs away.
And then was it a fly or something like that is near
cockroach.
Broken Vial?
Yeah, a cockroach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So
The broken vial from the earlier in the film that Strickland got.
yeah,
maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
It could always go back and get the symbiote from 616.
Yeah.
But anyways, you were saying about Null.
Yeah. So like Null, I'm kind of glad because he's such a big villain. Like last like when they introduced him and stuff, and the whole lead up to it in the Venom and Spider-Man comics and stuff. Yeah. Like to put him in a one-and-off film, we were like, okay.
So I know in the comics they retcon how the white spider on the Spider-Man suit is actually a winged Null beast or whatever it is, you know? Yeah. That's where you got it from. And then Venom can have wings as well. Like,
yeah, that was awesome though,
all these powers he never had before, right?
Yeah.
When they find this guy Null, they're like, yeah. All of a sudden, we got magical powers out there.
Which I don't mind because it's kind of better than like the symbiote being from Planet X, and then that was it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then like it wasn't until the Guardians Galaxy comics where they introduced like there's the Chintar and all this. Like, oh, okay, yeah. That kind of
I don't know specifically. What I do remember is that. Do you know about the Carnage Cosmic?
No.
That's when the Silver Surfer got bonded with Carnage.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So there was a Spider-Man, so Carnage is fighting Spider-Man where the Silver Surfer comes along, right? And then the symbiote kind of jumps onto the Surfer to bond with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, because the Galactus, Surfer took Galactus to the planet of the symbiotes and he wiped them out, but apparently he didn't because they're still around. So something like that. I don't know. But yeah. And Silver Surfer rejects Carnage because it's too much of a crazy. And Cletus Cassidy's having the shakes because he's not with Carnage. He's like having withdrawal symptoms. Like, all right,
I kind of like, even though this has got. I'll go back to what we saw about. I kind of like with the Carnage how all the other symbiotes they're weak because they become like person. I like how Carnage and Cletus Cassidy just become I. They're not even like we are two different people. Just
because he bonds to his blood or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think in the first. To be fair, the first appearance Carnage, Cletus Cassidy was like I all the time, even though he was with the Carnage symbiote. Yeah. But when the Carnage symbiote bonds with his blood, I think during Maximum Carnage, which is his second appearance, anyways. Yeah. It's just like, well, I'm still I. Yeah, and then the Carnage symbiote is separate from him sometimes. He's still I.
Yeah. So it's
right.
Okay.
Well, it's my blood, right? So it's part of me, therefore it is I.
Is he?
I can be two, and I can be one. If you say so.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But so what do you reckon is gonna happen then after?
I don't know. Like you're saying, right? If Null's gonna be something, well, the thing is, Null's in the multiverse, so he can do whatever he wants, however he wants, whenever he wants, right? Will there be another Venom? I don't know if they're just gonna do Secret Wars or something like that. They'll have Eddie Brock there, but then,
Because I feel like there has to be something because they wouldn't just like do the whole bit at the end, like the whole Null saying like, because your protector's gone now, like the universe is not safe. I'm like, So you wouldn't like build to that and then like nothing. I mean,
but this is the Sonyverse we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Well, the Sonyverse is notorious for not doing anything with the like wipe the Morbius.
Yeah, well, Morbius. Like I reckon, like Venom's the only one I could see they like Disney kind of having some slight interest in because it's made them a bit of money as well. Because obviously, they get a bit of money from the.
Yeah, actually, I see Venom has carried that universe at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And he finished it. His back finally broke, and he's like, "That's enough of that, man."
Yeah.
You're gonna do Sinister Six, but then how are you gonna do that? Because they didn't even wrap up out what Vulture's doing around there.
Yeah.
It's like they have no clue themselves. They're just like,
Yeah. We're just making things that we think may be entertaining.
Yeah. And then we see, I'm sure you saw at the beginning of this film, the trailer for Kraven the Hunter.
Yes, I did.
I don't have high hopes for. I'm gonna go watch.
I'll watch it.
Whatever. I don't. What are you expecting, Kraven, between Madam Web, Morbius, and Venom? What level are we talking about here? You personally thinking?
All right. It's gonna be controversial because I prefer Madam Web over Morbius.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be nowhere near Venom. Obviously, it's gonna be nowhere near Venom on any like scale because like compared to those like Venom's god tier and those are like the are like E and F tier. You know what I mean? So it'll be probably E tier. It might be like because I like the guys playing Carnage, not Carnage, sorry, Craven. I like him. I mean, he's a good actor, but. For source material, if the material's gonna be terrible, it's gonna be terrible. So I have no high hopes for it as well.
All I'm saying is, man, if it's not, but if they had Calypso in there as well, and said it's Craven and Calypso hunting whatever, right? And the other animal totems that they would have in the Spider-Verse, but they can't use them.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? Because they have Rhino in here.
Yeah.
Right? And they've got all sorts of Scorpion or whatever, right? You'd be like, all right, it's Craven the Hunter. He's hunting these guys. Okay.
Yeah. But no.
No, they're going for something that's really... I don't know what they're doing.
I don't think they know.
They got a story and they're like, yep, so this guy is Craven the Hunter in name only.
Yeah.
We're going to do whatever we want with the rest of it.
Yeah. He good guy now.
And then you wonder why people don't go to watch their films.
Yeah. It's just like it's kind of like on a lower scale though. The whole Black Adam sort of thing is like a well-known villain, but we're going to turn him into a hero because.
Well, the difference for Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked him to go harder edge, by the way, but obviously The Rock wanted to be like, I don't want to be. The little kids that come to watch the film to see me as a heartless bastard, so I had to tame myself somewhat. But even though the joy of Black Adam is basically. He is like Vegeta, you know. It's just like, we're gonna go hard and harsh, and then we'll maybe soften later on, right?
Yeah,
or be not
necessarily
necessarily as cruel, but it's just like, look, man, we're dictator.
Yeah,
we're gonna do dictator things. Yeah, but for the good of our own people, that's the
that's how Black Adam
not the good
in the comic.
Yeah,
but.
It's funny as well in the comics where when they draw Black Adam when he's a villain, all of a sudden his widow peak comes a bit more prominent, right? Yeah. And then later, when he becomes a hero, he goes back and it's like slick back hair. Yeah, like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
His speech is different, like his ears don't spike up as much.
Yeah, they make him look more humanish than whatever he's meant to be. I mean, like, he doesn't have the elf.
Yeah.
But overall, I enjoyed. Mr. Brock's final venture. I say final venture. He's
You mean Mr. Hardy's?
Yeah, Mr. Hardy's final venture as the symbiote.
Yeah. Oh, you said Mr. Brock. I thought you said Mr. Rock, and I'm like, wait a minute, Rock was not in there. No,
Mr. Brock, man, Eddie Brock, or Mr. Hardy, Tom Hardy. Yeah. But yeah, I like Tom Hardy's performance as Venom all the time.
No, the Venom films have the same tone throughout it, so it's very consistent. You know what you're expecting, and not terrible, not amazing, just there. But then it's like, fun explosions, fights. Nothing too deep.
Nothing too deep, nothing too serious.
Good on Tom Hardy. Just be like, this is me.
Yeah.
They're giving me money. I'm gonna be the what's it called?
The cash cow.
Sorry.
The cash cow.
No, the equivalent of what Deadpool was. Wolverine was.
Oh, the anchor. Like the
yeah. Exactly. So this universe is going. I'm expecting to completely crumble. By the way, I don't know if there's going to be a sequel to Morbius. I don't think there's going to be a sequel to Madam Web. Craven.
No.
I don't expect a sequel to be happening after that. By the way, so logically speaking, they probably should do Sinister Six, but why why don't we just if we can't make money with them separately, we'll put them all together.
I won't be surprised. Like, I'm not gonna be bad. Like, if Craven's gonna flop, right? I wouldn't be surprised if, like, because of that, like, you know what does bring us money? Venom. Let's do another Venom. Like, I wouldn't be 100% sure.
Here's a bucket full of cash. You know?
We technically haven't. If we want to, the Venom symbiote isn't dead, so that's what I see. Like, that's why I think they did it. They had little like it's break glass in case of emergency thing, but like, there's a symbiote.
Right back in if we can, because
and I'm okay with
that. We'll see. We'll see how much money. First of all, they need to turn Tom Hardy back, and then how desperate they get because Tom Hardy, if he's smart, just like no, just keep pretending that until they pile more money at him, and then be like, yeah, okay, we could do one more.
Because I feel like, because obviously you could tell like he actually enjoyed being this character because he was going on about it, and I'm really surprised like you saying like, yeah, I'll just say no until they give me a bit more money, because I don't think he's one of the people that like I hate every moment of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He'll definitely do another one if the money's right.
Yeah. Does this lead to anything? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I said for now, but we don't know how they're going to do that specifically.
Yeah.
Because it's not Marvel, but it's also kind of wrapped up in its own thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be back. They'll do something with Noel.
Yeah. Do you think they do something in Secret War with him and Battle World?
Could do. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if they're trying to.
Do you think Battle World will have all the multiple existing whoever's right? But they did that in Deadpool, in Deadpool, yeah. So, and who's left after that? You know.
Yeah.
Unless... Well, they got some people left, but they who are you gonna have left after? You're gonna have the second tier, second stringers, or whatever. And then you're gonna get some people back. Like you're gonna get Tim Guy and Andrew Garfield back for Secret Wars or stuff like that, and Ben Affleck as Daredevil, even though he's dead, right? But some of the other Punishers and stuff like that. I mean, look, it'd be good to do something like that, but then you're like the amount of money you would have to spend.
Yeah, but then, like the only thing I could feel like, because when you think about it, Noel is in a way on the level of like how they perceive him in the comic stuff. He's like in a way on the level like Thanos, because like he's like multi-dimensional god because the symbiote is all like hive mind.
Yeah.
So,
Well, look, I was kind of disappointed they didn't do anything with Null in this film. But unless he was going to come in at the end of the portals and just fly into Venom, get bonded with Venom, and then get melted by the acid.
Yeah, and like, okay, you built this for nothing.
Yeah, and he kind of deserves his own film to build from beginning to end with. We'll have to see about that. Is he going to appear in another Marvel property? Maybe not a Sony property. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's like, we might have an idea for him, but if we don't, then that's that. You know, he's locked up in his shadow realm or whatever. And, we'll be over here because the Sonyverse is
the Sonyverse.
Yeah. I mean, it's on its last. I don't want to say it's on its last legs, but they'll find something to make something with it, and you'll be like, but you.
Because I feel like Sony might do a deal what it did with Spider-Man with Venom. Like, you know what? Venom could be even more better if we have your help, Disney. Yeah, and then
You know what, Disney? If we listen to you, if we work in conjunction with you, instead of being greedy, maybe.
You know, and then I wouldn't be surprised.
That because all films are there to make money and stuff like that. And Disney make money off merchandise and stuff like that, so they don't really necessarily need to make a good film. They generally do though. But you've got these other universes going, they're making money. If we were to pretend we're part of their universe, we can make money.
We all make money,
And then what you do is drag their name down because you're dragging your name down.
But that's why I can see it happening. Like, and then if it went to Disney, like Disney started helping him, Tom Hardy would definitely come back straight. Like, yay, I could be seen with the other guys. And
then Topher Grace comes back as well, just for the lols.
The best version of Venom. So
So this film, I'd say the 3-star tier out of 5 that it generally has been, right?
For me, because of my soft spot, I give it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
And you know, I enjoy a film when the hero like story arc, quote unquote, ends and they have a moment in the sun, i.e. like Logan.
Even though a particular version of Logan,
had his moment, and I can't think of any other hero that's died in a film recently. Oh, there's Iron Man, but he had like 12 films. That's a lie, but you know.
Yeah, no, he's coming back as well. So.
Well, yeah, a version of him, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll buy it on Blu-ray and I'll see it when it comes out again because I bought the last two on Blu-ray, so I gotta carry on.
Unless you're waiting for Venom 4 to come out when he announced, and then you can do the Venom quadrilogy.
Yeah, man, we the best. I watch more back to back.
You were talking about the other symbiotes. So you said now.
Yes. Well, give me a second. I had a list of what they were. Where was it?
So Riot was the first symbiote in Venom 1, right? And Carnage the symbiote in Venom 2, yeah?
Yeah.
And I know there's in the comics there's one called Scream, which is the orange and red, the yellow and red female symbiote.
Yes.
And then
there's Scream. There's Lash, which I think the green one was meant to be.
Okay. I think she was purple in the comics, right?
I think so. 1 second. I'm trying to remember where I found it now.
Right there. I can find it for you. Look.
Oh yeah, Lethal Protector.
Yeah, I can. Let's see if we can get all the names. No, probably not. You know what? They probably not even named, right?
Probably not.
No, 5 of them, each deadlier than the original. No names.
Alright, I'm on Screen Rant, so we've got to take this with a pinch of salt. Okay,
yeah.
So there is Agony. Yeah, I remember that's one of them. Yep. Apparently that's the pink one.
Yeah.
Toxin. We kind of knew that one. Lasher. The green one's Lasher. That's it. Not Lasher. And then we got Fake. Phagio.
Phage.
Phage. Yeah. And then.
Yeah, but none of them are named in the movie. So they wouldn't like if your scientist not named in the movie and your symbiote's not named in the movie, then you're just kind of fodder.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Especially if you don't get any lines either.
Yeah.
Of lines then I'm like getting dubbed over, you know?
Yeah, then you're not really I think.
If you don't get an actor credit,
then you're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's them. Let me look at another one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not great. Not terrible. Not amazing. Just fine. You know.
Yeah. Amazing to me, but yeah, just fine.
Yeah. I know. I keep on averaging it out, and you keep on adding a bit more to it. Yep. So it's like Mike Sanders above average, right?
Yeah.
But
that's way above average.
But look, it's definitely not terrible, and I'm predicting that Craven's going to be worse than this.
Yeah, Scream apparently. Yeah, Craven's gonna be worse than this. Worse than anything.
I think partially the problem with Craven looks like he's taking itself too seriously.
Yeah. That's the thing I'm gonna say was gonna probably ruin for Craven. It's trying to be something that it's not.
Yeah, and Morbius, if Morbius just went the way of Venom, where it's just like, no, we're just gonna be a bit ludicrous. We're gonna be wacky and wild, yes.
Yeah, then people would have took it more. Would actually probably enjoyed it, kind of.
And with Madam Web, I don't know how they could have.
Madam Web. Again, I didn't mind Madam Web, but
no, I didn't mind it either.
Film that feels like it was 20 years too late.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If they tried less to be like, oh, this is Spider-Man, but not because kind of female. You know, it's just like, look, man, it's the same thing. But then look, as much as we know, Madam Web is just the old lady in the chair.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
Unless you're Julia Carpenter, Madam Web, which is different, but then you have to set up the previous to go in.
Get to that, yeah.
Unless the old Madam Web dies at the beginning of the film, and then the rest of the film is about Julia Carpenter becoming the new Madam Web, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah. Do you think that there'll be a Madam Web sequel?
No.
The Web of Life, right? They steal it from. Look, Madam Web can find the inheritors.
She could. As much as I would like to see a Madam Web 2, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, they thought it's equal. They can fight the rest of the. The rest of the episodes, but then they got more on and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work.
Like the Inheritors is like one of the best and worst things that's come to Spider-Man.
And you could be like across the multiverse, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man define these things, and then they finally land on this universe where they got other spider beings to help them.
I'll be surprised if that was their initial goal, but then obviously they didn't do that well because it's not that great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they just randomly have what's it called? Emma Stone come back as Spider-Gwen for the lols as well.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? You know, I think they could do a Spider-Verse, like a live-action Spider-Verse with the Inheritors, or like a small-scale one.
Yeah,
not a small-scale one, but you know, if you got a sequel Madam Web, you just kind of spin it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you don't need Tom Holland in it.
No, not all, do you? No.
Well, but then it'll get confusing because you got the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's the only problem,
well,
innit? Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that'll be. You know, we do not have confidence in the Sonyverse whatsoever.
No, not whatsoever. No.
But we are signing off for this episode. I'm the man who irrationally hates symbiotes as much as Lex Luthor irrationally hates Superman. Sioi Chong.
And I'm the man who has children. Wait. I'm the man who believes there's aliens and then finds out aliens are real and like, I hate aliens. Yep, the dad. Because he loved them. Then he sort of like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have found us out. But he said today. Carl Charles, sorry, I don't know why I went on a weird tangent there. And thank you for listening to us review Venom: The Last Dance. Go and see it in cinemas. It's out now. Don't forget to let us know if you've seen the film. Let us know what you think of it. And do you think there'll be a Venom 2? I mean, no, Venom 4. Enter the Venomverse, which is actually going on in the comics right now. Venomverse, which is.
Wait. Then is this the second one? Is there a second Venomverse? Because I thought they did one already.
I think there's another one, and that's going to lead to the Venomverse X Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So check that out, I guess. Or if you want to know more about Null, I would say go back and read Donny Cates' Venom from 2018 to 2023. Yeah. And right now we're speaking about the comics. I believe that Eddie Brock is bundled with the Carnage symbiote as well. Yeah, and there's gonna be a new Venom in a couple of months. Who's not Eddie Brock or Dylan Brock? Spoiler alert. Yeah. So check that out. So yeah, read Venom, and then
what's the stuff happening there in the comic side of things?
Man in Black. Wait, what was it? It's
King in Black. No,
King in Black. Well, wait.
I think there was some. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it was Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
And then the Black King. Yeah, Man in Black. Yeah, the Black King's the last one. Yeah. The King in Black, whatever. Yeah, that's when like loads of people get involved in it. Yes, you can find it all on Marvel Unlimited, which I'm gonna do because I only read up to a certain point and I need to go back to read the others. Yeah. And you can do that. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, where I sometimes post about like that stuff. And if you watch this on YouTube, don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe. If you listen to this on the audio realm, don't forget to give us a 5-star review and leave a review. It'd be quite nice. And keep a lookout on our YouTube channel. There's like lots of videos and stuff up on there. And we got us.
We'll see you guys next time for.
Yeah,
Agatha all along.
Agatha all along, yeah. Triple A.
I know we got Venom t-shirts on, but are we going to be dressing up like Agatha for that one? We have to stay tuned and watch out.
Yeah, will we? Ooh, look forward to that.
I haven't got any purple stuff.
Neither do I. I can find something, I guess. Until next time, guys. Thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.